delisted Indian apps on its Play Store. After contention with app developers in India over payment issues, Google has assured to work on a solution. Now, app developers have claimed that more than 200 apps have been delisted by App Store, out of which less than 15 apps have been reinstated. Among those in the eye of the storm are Naukri, 99 Acres, Shiksha, People's Interactive, Shadi.com, an online dating platform, Truly Madly, podcast app Kuku FM. These all apps are at the center of contention with Google. Some of them have been delisted. Some of them are back on Google Play Store once again. Now, this issue has been a bone of contention, not just in India, but many more countries. Finally, it does appear that Google is relenting.
Right. Right now, this is a solution for the time being. The larger problem doesn't get solved because of the overwhelming control that Google has on the market. And we're talking about Google's Play Store, which comes pre-installed with Android operating system phones, which is over 90% of the Indian market, nearly 95%. That's the only store where you can buy, purchase apps from, as far as India is concerned. 90 to 95% of smartphone users in this country. So that fundamental doesn't really change, and it's not a question of only Google and the Google Play Store which charges that commission. Even Apple charges a similar exorbitant commission. But those two put together form all smartphone operating systems in the country. So the larger problem doesn't get solved unless and otherwise we have a Atmanirbhar app store system in this country, because you did have the announcement coming from the likes of a PhonePe about the Indus App Store, which is an India developed app store with over 200 apps already listed on it. 2 lakh apps listed on it is what we understood at that stage. That kind of a solution is what will give permanent relief for app developers and startups in this country, Shweta, because all that is happening right now is that both members from Google and the startup community did meet India's IT ministry, and somehow they worked out this solution for the time being to get the apps back. But the commission ain't going anywhere. In fact, on the Google Play Store, it's anywhere between 11 to 26% until you make the first 1 million downloads. You pay about 11% commission, and once you cross 1 million downloads, you have to pay 26% commission to be listed on the Google Play Store. So this problem will continue for a while unless and otherwise they want to change the percentage commission, which I don't see Google doing anytime soon. And also, more importantly, you have the payment system again going through Google again, because there is you can't use any third-party payment system. You have to go through Google again. So Google controls this market, is a dominant force in this market. So the larger problem doesn't get solved. But is it a temporary relief for now? Yes, it is.
It does look like it's a temporary relief. But let's also take our viewers back to where it all started, when Google finally decided on 1st of March to delist some of these apps that it said were not in compliance with the contract that app developers had signed with Google. And now the entire issue, of course, stems from the fact that the commission, as many app developers in India claim, is on the higher side. It was initially 15 to 30%. The Competition Commission of India challenged it, post which it was brought down to about 11 to 26%, 26% being the upper threshold limit, which still is a lot of money.
Absolutely. It's as good as, the kind of... Look, it's already not the easiest for Indian app developers to operate, because the Google Play Store is not just an Indian Play Store. It has apps from all over the world being listed on the Google Play Store. So when you are an app developer, you are competing with the world. And it's not, so you need the kind of tax relief that an average salaried person wants. The average salaried person, what happens when you have to pay a minimum of 15 to 20 to 25% as salary? You have IT rates being brought down so that you can the salary you make becomes you can afford the basics in life. The same way for app developers and startups in this country, that rate has been exorbitant. They've expressed it many times over. But it's just that Google controls the market, and nobody can tell Google how much it can charge. Even despite that, as you're rightly pointing out, from 15 to 30, it was brought down to 11 to 26, and even at that range, it is difficult for so many of the new app developers.
Absolutely.
The first time apps that are just coming into the market, it's still a very high price for them to pay.
Absolutely. And some of these apps are nascent. They don't have the kind of revenues, they don't make the kind of revenues to be able to pay up that commission. And they're also alleging bias in this case, where you have big players like Amazon, Facebook not paying up the same commission at the same rate as opposed to what many Indian players are doing at the moment. Now, you know, we discussed this in the morning, and the idea, of course, is that Government of India can only nudge Google at this point. They cannot come out with a law. They cannot so much as put a diktat out there for Google to follow. So Google has voluntarily decided to, for now, list these players back. What happens here on? I believe CCI will have to step in once again.
Right. What happens from here on, Shweta, I'm just looking at a little bit of blue skies thinking. There is a government-backed, Indian government-backed app platform called M-Seva. Unfortunately, you know, the user experience in the M-Seva hasn't been great. And also, M-Seva does not have the kind of tie-ups with phone manufacturers to be come pre-installed with all the phones that are manufactured. You know, so going forward, what would be ideal is that you find a genuine alternative to Google. You find a genuine alternative to the Apple App Store as well. So you need a genuine India-made alternative. That's the actual solution to this, because you can nudge Google, tell Google, Google will go back and forth. But Google is a dominant player, not just in India. Bear in mind, Shweta, Google is a dominant player across the world. And then you have every government across the world saying, "Oh, you're doing that for the Indian government, you're going to do it for us as well." So I mean, so to me, yes, sure, the Indian government, based on the market that Google is playing to over here, 1.4 billion people, you know, so many 800 to 900 million internet users in this country. So yeah, sure, the Indian government can, you know, make some moves to rationalize the commissions, but I really don't see that as the final solution. The real solution is that when a government-backed platform like M-Seva comes pre-installed with every phone that gets manufactured in India, if you're going to be pushing made in India phones, all those phones made in India should come with the M-Seva app pre-installed in them, or the Indus Play Store app developed in India come pre-installed in them. So all of that, a clear alternative to Google is what will be the final solution for this in my mind.
That will be a long-term solution, but for now it does appear that Google has relented, at least to the nudges of the Indian government, has agreed to list once again all the 100 apps that were delisted as of 1st of March. It will not be listing the remaining 100. Remember, 200 developers have come on record so far stating that they have been delisted from Google App Store. Only 100 will make it back, but there is a temporary solution to the ongoing row between app developers in India and Google, where Google has been accused time and again, not just in India but globally, of abusing its dominant position across the world.